All right, so I'm gonna go through each Power Pocket and share with you what I would do. I think using a timer is really helpful, especially if you're on a time crunch to get this done. You need to be super disciplined. You need to have your tracker on hand so you can track everything that you're doing. Don't do these really on the go unless you can track them. All right, really super important. I mean, even if you have to put it on sticky notes, if you're waiting in the, the pickup line to pick up your kids at school or whatnot, make sure you're jotting everything down and then transferring it later to your bat or whatever method of tracking that you use. If you use Streak or Teamsy, whatever it is. But it's really important to track your information. So let's start with Power Pocket number 1, which is adding 10 new friends. I'm gonna show you how to do it on Facebook. I'm gonna show you how to do it on Instagram. So for Facebook, all I really do is I choose a friend that is non-coach related, right? So I'm just using my friend Jen for now. She's local, she's a teacher, she's a mom of 3, actually maybe 4 at this point. So basically I'm going to go to her friends lists and all her friends are gonna pop up. If they have it private, then you're not gonna use that person. But you'll scooch down and you will see like some of the people you're already friends with. But if you keep going down, it'll say add friend and friend. And she has all these friends that we have a lot of mutual friends in common. So let's see this one right here. So I'm gonna look at the mutual friends. If it's not other coaches, then, and if it's 5 or more mutual friends and she looks like she has kids, then I will click add friends. Sometimes I go to their actual wall and I just see, make sure they're not part of another network marketing company or whatnot. So she looks like a mom, she has other kids. I'm gonna go with it, right? So I'm gonna go back up to the top and I'm gonna click add friend. All right, and I'm gonna do this for 10 people. And I'm probably just gonna stay under my friend Jen's list and just get my 10 from her name. And then tomorrow I'll pick a different friend and go through their friends list. But again, you wanna make sure you have 5 or more mutual friends, not 1 or 2. And if there's no mutual friends like this, I wouldn't do it because Facebook recognizes that you're being spammy, okay? So that's how you can do it on Facebook. The next step with that is once they accept your friend request, sending them a quick message. Thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I noticed we had a bunch of mutual friends in common. Do you live in blah, blah, blah? Or do you teach or blah, blah? Ask a question just to get a conversation going and thank them for their request, for accepting your request. That's all. They're gonna check out your page. They're gonna see what you're about. If you look like you're being salesy, and putting up links and stuff, they're probably not gonna accept your friend request. So make sure what you're posting on your Facebook page, and it could be the same as your Instagram, I just copy and paste the same thing on both, is genuine and real and just sharing your whole life. Okay, so on Instagram, what I do is I search either hashtags related to me, and I will click on pictures underneath the hashtag. So this is an account that I found, Modern Mom Probs, with 155,000 followers. So she has good interaction, as you can see on her post. So I'm just gonna go to one of her recent posts. Don't mind my Rocky Roomba making noise. And I will go through the people that are commenting and click on their profile. If I like them, I'm gonna follow them, and then I'm gonna send them a message. So let's see what this one's about. Okay, I see kids, she looks like a mom. It does not have to be with any fitness and health related. I'm looking just for moms who might need a solution to living a happier, healthier life. So I can use this one and follow her. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send her a message. Can I send a message from here? I'll probably have to do it on my phone, which I can't show you right now. But I will send her a message. Sorry, I'm just seeing. I will send her a message saying, hey girl, I just came across your profile. I love it, you look like a mom. How old is your son? It looks like she has 1 son. I would confirm that by going through this before I go message her. But yeah, it looks like 1 little boy. He's really cute. So I would message her and say, how old is your son? Or I'm a mom from New York, just connecting with other moms like you. All right, and I would do that for 10 people. Side note, if you are using Sim Social, you do not need to go find accounts on Instagram. Stim Social will do that for you. Your job is to go into Stim Social on a regular basis, like maybe every week to 2 weeks, and look at the accounts that you have chosen and ensure that they are performing well and that you're getting above 10% return follow back. You also want to choose accounts that do not relate to health and fitness. You will get a lot of coaches that way, or people in other network marketing companies. Think about who you are as a person outside of Beachbody, and those are the type of accounts that you want to look for and follow. And Stim will send the messages for you as well. So what I just showed you is only if you're not using Stim Social, which is a program used to help find followers for you. But you do need to monitor your Stim Social, or you're gonna get like some real crazies. And you're still gonna get crazies regardless if you find good accounts or not. That's just part of the process. But just wanted to let you know, you should not be going to find your own people to follow and use Stim at the same time, because that'll really appear as if you're being spammy on Instagram and they might shut you down. Don't get shut down. All right, like, if you can only do the following part in a Power Pocket and not send a message right away, Power Pocket number 2 is connecting and sending messages to those people. I like to kind of combine them and do both at the same time just to bang it out. But if you don't have that amount of time, Power Pocket 2 is going to be you messaging those new people. And again, tracking it on your bag. In between your Power Pockets, you are literally putting your phone down and living your life and doing what you need to do in between. Okay? Don't get caught in the scroll. Don't get caught up in, spending hours scrolling Instagram. It's not rocket science, and you could be getting good accounts. Maybe you're not, but at least you're looking thoroughly at people underneath hashtags that relate to you. You're looking at profiles on Facebook of people that look similar to you, and just connecting with them. All right. So Power Pocket 2 is connect with 5 people. If you send messages to all 10 of your new Instagram follows, or all 10 of your Facebook, or all 20, guess what? Your connect, you just tripled or quadrupled, actually. 20 people, right? So if you can do that, awesome. If you can't, focus on the 5. Power Pocket 2, done. Power Pocket number 3 is posting on social media. So for me, every single morning I put a post up on Facebook, pretty much first thing right after my workout. It's usually health and fitness related. Sometimes it's not. It could just be a question, engaging question. But that's usually where I get that post up. I usually take the same post and I put that on Instagram, but not until a little bit later in the day, because when I checked under my Instagram page, which is set to a business page, which gives you feedback on your followers, etc., it tells you when your followers are most active on Instagram. So mine are between the hours of 12 and 3 p.m. So I usually post closer to the middle of the day. Usually it's the same post. I just add my hashtags to it. And then of course in between I'm doing stories. From the second I wake up till the time I go to bed, I'm trying to get my stories in throughout the day. That counts as your social media posting, to be honest with you. I usually post 1 to 2 posts, regular posts on Facebook and Instagram per day. Instagram's usually like 1. I'm trying to get it to 2 or 3. But again, if you're busy, if you have a full-time job, 1 post per day is great. If you're doing stories, you should put a little bit more time and effort into those, and whatever you're putting on Instagram, copy right over to your Facebook stories, because then you're doubling the eyes that are on you. Different people are watching you from different platforms. So that is Power Pocket number 3. If you do it first thing in the morning, maybe 1 in the evening. When I was a teacher, I used to do 1 in the morning before work, 1 when I got home from work around 3:30 in the afternoon, and then 1 in the evening before bed. Nowadays, I think you can do 1 or 2 and you're good for your posts, as long as you're doing your stories, because that's what people like to watch. Power Pocket number 4 is inviting. Okay, now, there are different views on this. I do not invite every single day. I invite in different seasons of the month. Does that make sense? So obviously, if I know our challenge group is starting in like a week or 2 weeks, that's when I go hardcore with my inviting. And then I am inviting daily or in big chunks. So I might have like a list of like, maybe 20 people that I've been talking to, and I just invite them all at one time. It's much easier for me to just bang them all out when I have a list and crossing them off and not thinking about it. I know inviting for a lot of people is intimidating, But honestly, it's the only way to move your business forward. We can post till the cows come home and put calls to action in our stories, in our posts, and maybe you'll get 1 or 2 people from that. But for the majority of the people that you're gonna wanna help, you have to reach out and actually ask them. There are people all the time who are watching you that think about it and will never say a word to you. It's not until you open up that door with the invite that things can start to happen. As you know, inviting is not always going to be people jumping and saying yes, right? Usually when you invite and people say no thank you or whatever they're going to tell you, it's a no, not right now. Because you have to think about it. Not everybody's going to be ready to start a health and fitness regimen on the exact day that you invite them to join you, right? They have to really want it and be ready and in a place where, you know, things aren't lining up and they're like, okay, I'm ready to try something new, right? So that's what I want you to consider when you're inviting, and I don't want you to attach any emotion to the outcome. My biggest thing that always helped me when I was a newer coach is to go for no. Like to be like, oh my God, this person's totally gonna tell me no. Like, let's see how many no's I can get in one day, right? And you make it like a game, and the no's makes you get closer to the yeses, because the more people you ask, the closer you're gonna get to a yes. The more people you ask in this month mean those people are going to know what you are about and know what you have to offer. So guess what? You planted a seed. You opened up a door. And what happens is those people will watch you more closely, and when they are ready, it could be next month, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 years from now, but they will reach out to you as long as you keep the lines of communication open, you're checking in with them, and tracking on your bat who you invited, okay, and what they said and the reasons why they said it. You're gonna follow the 5-step invitation process from there. You are not inviting anybody that you haven't already spoken to. Cold invites are yucky, right? Nobody wants to be cold invited if you haven't talked to this person since high school. So the people that I invite are people that I've had conversations with. They're people that are maybe watching my stories on a daily basis. They've liked or commented on some of my posts. There's engagement. I've talked to them, they've talked to me, okay? And I've tracked it through my bat, so I know who to invite and when it's okay. A conversation can go 2-3 weeks before you send an invite. It could be longer depending if you feel like you haven't developed enough trust or rapport with the person. But I'm just gonna show you a sample invite that I just sent out real quick right now. And the goal on your invite days is 5 invites. If you do a little each day, it's a lot easier, but you can do it like me where you're focusing on what you're inviting to, because half of the month, the first half of the month, the end of the month into the first half of the month, I'm inviting to a challenge group. And those are people that might need help with health and fitness. And the second half of the month, once we get the challenge group started, I'm focusing on inviting to the coach sneak peek and the coaching opportunity. Those are people that maybe are already in our groups, that are doing really well on their journey, or people that might be already interested in health and fitness or interested in some sort of business opportunity. They don't have to be into health and fitness to be invited to become a coach. Because I tell you what, I was not into health and fitness before I became a coach. I was like, I like the discount and I'm gonna try to get healthy and fit. And if I help people along the way, cool, right? So that's kind of how I map out my month. Let me show you a sample invite. Is a girl I know actually from high school. We've talked back and forth. She just had a baby about 6 or 8 months ago, I forget. But I have talked to her in the past. She's never committed to joining me. But so this was a follow-up invite. Hey mama, I know we spoke like what seems like years ago, but I'm starting a new virtual boot camp next week. As you know, its focus is busy parents who just want to sneak in a bit of time for themselves. Not sure if you're ready for it or not, but just want to throw it out there because I know how hard it is to get back into the swing with a baby on your hip. If not, no worries. I wanted to at least ask because we chatted a while back about it and I would love to have you. Hope that baby's doing awesome. So again, I just throw it out there. It's very nonchalant. It's very relaxed. And I love the follow-up. If not, no worries. I wanted to at least ask because if we chatted a while back, I would love to have you. So it really just gives her an out if she's not interested at this point. For her to want to answer me, oh, thanks, Kristen, so much for thinking about me or whatever, you know, whatever she's going to say. And then from there, I'll take it through the 5 steps. If she is interested, I'm going to go right to her goals. Tell me a little bit about where you're at. Tell me about where you're struggling, right? Tell me about what have you been trying to do? Why has it failed, etc. If she's not interested, obviously I might get an objection and I'll try to like combat the objection and dig a little deep with her goals. But again, I don't force anyone to join me. If they're truly not ready, I will just keep following up. And again, this is somebody that I know from high school, so we know each other a little bit. It's not a total cold market person, but again, we aren't super close, so it's just building that relationship. So we'll see what happens. But I would send out a bunch of these at one time, bang it out, and there's my Power Pocket. I would put my phone down and check my messages later. I do not answer people. If she started answering me right now and I have like 5 more invites to send out, I'm not answering her as much as you want to until I'm done with that Power Pocket. And if I have extra time, cool, I'll go and answer. If not, I will go back at a later time when I have more time to answer messages. Power Pocket number 5 is follow-up. Guys, we can't stress this to you enough. The fortune is truly in the follow-up. You need to follow up with people. People are busier than ever these days. Do not make assumptions that when you ask someone to join you, or when you send them a message, if they don't answer you, that they're not interested, or you were bothering them. Guys, always think of what we have as a gift, all right? And when you're starting a relationship, you're not looking at these people like a hungry shark, like, ooh, I'm gonna make money off this person. If you're thinking like that, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're in the wrong business. We really are truly here to help people and find their pain points, find where their struggles are so we can help fill that need, all right? So follow up, rule of thumb, I do not wait longer than 2 days to follow up with somebody. People all the time, coaches are like, yeah, I'll follow up next week. No, because you lose them. People honestly do not check their messages. They're not running their businesses on social media like you are. So it's very hard for us to understand sometimes why they aren't checking their messages, or where they're checking in like a week. You're like, oh my God. But follow up. Follow up is simple. Hey, Jen, how are you? I'm just following up because I didn't hear back from you. Hope all is well. Or, hey Jen, how are you? I'm just following up because I wasn't sure if you saw my last message. That's usually the one I say a lot to people. Even though I see that their little face read it, I'll just play dumb and be like, hey, did you happen to see my last message? Not sure if you got it or not. That's all. And if they're not answering 2 times, 3 times, okay, time to move on. Follow up in a month, okay? Don't waste your time like being like obnoxious with somebody, right? Especially if they're seeing your messages. Some people may just not answer you, and that's how people are, and it drives me crazy because I would never do that, but that's just me, right? So just understanding the fortune is in the follow-up, and it's okay to reach back out to people and say, hey, just checking back in, especially if you're in the process after inviting them. You can't assume if you don't hear back that they're not interested. It just means usually that they're super busy. So the last resort follow-up that Dave and I like to use, like if it's like 3 or 4 times and they're not answering, is, hey, did I do something wrong? I'm sorry if I did, or if I offended you. Totally didn't mean to do that. Just wanted to have a conversation with you. That's all. Hope all is well. And you can even do it through voice message. If you want to get even more personal, voice message is a great way to follow up with people or to invite them. If you're brave enough, you can invite through voice message, which is a cool way. So that was your last Power Pocket. You're going to follow up with, that was your 5th Power Pocket. Follow up with 3 people that you've already messaged. Again, you're going to go back to your bat to see your list to see who you've already talked to. You got to be tracking it so you know who to follow up with, okay? And that's Power Pocket 5. Again, put your phone down when you've reached out to those 3 people. Live your life. Here comes number 6. Power Pocket number 6 is answering your messages. This could be done, in your bed at night while you're, winding down before you go to bed or whatever. If you have time in between things to answer your message. But when you get your messages and your invites and your connects sent out earlier in the day, by the time it's like evening and maybe you put the kids to bed or whatever, it's a good time where people probably have had time to see your message, and if they're going to answer you, they probably have already answered you for that day. So you can go back in and re-answer all those messages, those follow-ups, etc. I don't like to go to bed with a lot of messages in my inbox. Sometimes I do, but I don't like to do it if I don't have to. So that would be your Power Pocket number 6, is to answer all of the messages that you have outstanding. And again, writing down on your bat or in your Teamsy or your Streak or however you're tracking what happened in the conversation is really, really important. So those are your Power Pockets in about an hour's time per day. I suggest doing 5 days a week for your Power Pockets. We post it in the team page for you guys to be accountable every night, how many pockets you got done. The goal is to get 6 out of 6, at least 5 days out of the week. If you can't, no big deal. But if you're getting 4 and 5 done, 5 times a week, guess what? Your business is going to move forward. I promise you that. These are the tasks that you have to get done every day. They're not glamorous, they're tedious, but they get you to the glamorous stage, right? They get you those challengers, those new clients. They're gonna help you with your paycheck and your income and your volume, right? And hopefully you will get coaches from this down the line. Once you get challengers, you gave them a great experience in your challenge group. You love on them, you encourage them, you get them set up right, and then hopefully you can invite them to become coaches on our team once they're believers in the process and the products and what we have to offer. And again, you guys know the challenge pack is the ultimate best way to get somebody started on their journey because it is the full package for fitness, for nutrition, and then of course in the groups you get the support. And it gives you everything at a bundled, discounted rate. So I like to show everybody our graphics of what we have to offer, and it can range from, you know, BOD quarterly all the way to a challenge pack. But again, you make the suggestion as the coach if they're ready to join you, what you suggest based on their goals, based on their struggles, what would be the best way for them to get started. But again, at the end of the day, your job is just to get them in the group. Get them in the group and get them started. Even if it's just quarterly BOD, you've made a little commission, you have a new challenger, and that levels up your accountability as well. Guys, you can do this every single day. I promise you, you will move your business forward. If you have any questions, let me know.